Hi, and welcome to From Point A to B, our podcast with me, Joan Rispa and
my name is Fred Bogo, from Point A to B. Today we're going to talk about what?
No, tunaongelea mambo ambayo yanachachanisha. We're going to be talking about AI. I don't know what chachanisha means, but I felt like it's the appropriate word to use. But I think AI has brought people together and also divided people because there are people who are purists and they feel that AI is the big vice antichrist yenye imekuja ku destroy the earth.
First of all, I think you need to declare what AI is. First of all, is it artificial insemination?
I saw that.
Dawa ya ng'ombe ili izae watoto wazuri ama ng'ombe yani.
It's artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yani akili unde. That's what I heard people say inaitwa kwa Kiswahili. Akili unde.
My lord.
I would hate nina Uswahili akili unde.
I would hate to be a news anchor in this day kwa sababu sijui venye nitaiita.
So, how do you want us to go about this AI issue?
No, I think we can start by telling us unaigemea mrengo upi, whether you think AI is...
First of all, I think me,
yes,
Fred Mbogo, because I write plays. I
feel threatened?
Yes, I write plays. I have written chapters in books. By the way, I have written some things. I have written articles in newspapers. I have written film script, by the way, scripts, yes. I have worked with, I think, advertisers, things like that. I've tried to write. And I feel like as a creative, the first time I heard about this artificial intelligence, one of the things that made me worry was, is it going to write like me? Okay, that was my first worry. And so on. So I've always had this anxiety. But then other people are coming up and saying other things. You know, over time, people have been saying that AI is not so bad. It's just like a tool. It's like a djembe. It helps you plant. You know, if you're a farmer, if you have a mechanized djembe, you lima faster than the neighboring farmer who is still using the usual hoe, isn't it?
Yeah. So where are you currently in terms of your stand?
Currently, leave me alone. I'm confused-ish. I'm still finding my feet. Yeah. Because, you know, the problem with AI...
There's a problem?
Yes. It's not one thing. It's not like a t-shirt. You know the way a t-shirt is a t-shirt.
This is a very weird example.
No, I mean, a t-shirt is not going to change.
Okay.
Or a shirt. Or a trouser.
Okay.
It's a trouser. It covers your body. It's not going to change in terms of dramatically. But AI seems to be a thing that can help you. At first, it seemed like it could do simple things. Correct your grammar. Correct your sentence. Correct your, what's this thing called? Spelling mistake and so on and so forth when you're typing. Yeah? But now, incrementally, it's moving. Generative AI. You know, all these things. ChatGPT, Gemini, all those things. You can feed in a question and it gives you a thing. Yesterday we were sitting with somebody and he saw this long thing which was 9 pages. He said, I am not going to read the 9 pages. And he put it in AI.
For a summary.
And for a summary.
Yeah.
I was ashamed.
As the Gen Z in this, okay, not Gen Z, but close to Gen Z in this podcast, I personally use AI a lot.
Gen Z. Okay.
Close to Gen Z.
Yes.
Yes. But I use AI quite often. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I feel like, especially as an artist, because I do the same thing. I write plays, scripts for films. I sometimes blog occasionally, but I don't see the threat being that big. In fact, I am in those people who say it is assistive technology, because when it comes to something like, for example, my field, let's talk about film. What I think AI has done for us as filmmakers is that imetusaidia to expand our horizons. Kitambo, Kenyan film could only be within certain parameters. It either had to be drama or comedy, kwa sababu those ones at least you have budget for. So if I wanted to think about a spaceship, I'm already curious and wondering, hey, sasa natoa spaceship wapi, ama budget ya spaceship wapi. That's why, in my opinion, I think there are not too many movies on aliens and superheroes because sasa fast believability and
now
too
you want
budget.
a Kenyan alien.
Yeah, why can't we have a Kenyan alien?
As I like a Kenyan alien. An alien is not a Kenyan anyway.
No. I'm just asking though. Like, what's who says that Hollywood is the only one that can come up with this sci-fi, horror, and other genres of film?
Yeah.
So it limits our creativity as Africans, I guess, to two genres. Either ufanye drama, ama ufanye inaitwaje comedy. Kwa sababu hizo unaweza fanya na zile resources ziko. But now with the technology opening up, if I'm able to now start bringing in these elements at a fraction of the cost of what it would have cost to do all those nice CGI, VFX, very technical terms, but what they use in Hollywood. So what's the harm?
One of the movies I liked coming out of Kenya, see that codification coming out of Kenya, is called Supermodo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out of Kenya.
Supermodo is a brilliant film.
The director is?
Likarion Wainaina.
Likarion, okay. So now, that film, by the way,
it has superhero elements.
Yeah.
But it's just an ode to the genre that the director likes.
It gives us an idea without necessarily pushing us to seeing Superman or Supergirl for that matter.
What's the problem with having a black, a Kenyan superhero?
By the way, what's that Supermodo? It was about this girl who dreams.
Yeah, it was about a girl who's watched a lot of Hollywood films of that action, action.
Yeah.
So it was a superhero flicks.
Yeah.
But she's struggling with cancer. Okay, battling cancer, not struggling.
Yes.
And, as an escape, she constantly transports her life in between the world of the superhero world that she's watched on the cinema versus the real world. And, okay, I won't spoil it, but it's such a beautiful film. You need to watch it. It's available on Netflix.
So now, here's my problem. If Supermodo can do for us, what you're claiming AI should do for us, why do we need AI?
No.
Okay, I'm cheapening there.
Yeah, you're cheapening because think about it in terms of music genres, Basi.
Yeah.
There are so many music genres, Sindio.
Yeah.
You can do hip hop, Lingala, Kwaito, whatever.
Yeah.
Sindio. Now
same
sasa,
as Kenya.
Okay, Gengetone.
Gengetone.
Yeah, kina Okela Mox, but it's just itwaje, but it's such a cool, funky video.
Kodong Clan.
Yeah, Kodong Clan. I can really love it.
Miss Jui naitwa.
Hata mimi sijui, but it's like modern rumba, right? So kama kuna all these variations of music and subgenres, why is it that now when it comes to film, lazima to jaribu to Kenyanize what you're thinking?
No, we didn't Kenyanize Supermodo.
No, I'm saying Supermodo is a Kenyan film.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yes.
But now, sasa mimi mbona nisi create. For example, if a Kenyan musician was to do hip hop, you wouldn't tell them that's such an American genre, hakunanga Compton huku Kenya or such a thing.
Yeah.
So mimi nikisema I want to do a superhero film or a horror flick using AI as an assistive technology, utasema that's not Kenyan.
Okay, why are we entering into that argument? Well, let me just come back to Kenya. So I read this newspaper yesterday. Okay, so we've rested film for 1 minute.
Sure.
We're coming back to it.
I have no
because I have an interesting argument, by the way.
Okay.
So here is an article I read. This article is in The Nation. There's a writer there I like on Fridays. He's called Mutuma Matthew. The Matthew is a little, not the Matthew of, Theo. Anyway, Matthew. Anyway. And the problem is, I always think that I don't know if I should trust what he writes. And maybe that's what I like about what he writes. That is, he seems to have been writing this, but he might mean the other. So here's an article. It says, here is how AI will save the media. So, because he's an old man, and by an old man, I mean he's older than me, he's going towards 60s, he's a retired fellow, so he says, etc. So I like the way, he speaks like a sage with nothing to lose. So when I see here's how AI will save the media, nashangaa kama anaandika hivyo kweli anamaanisha hivyo, ama anatuletea mchezo. So he sits down and writes, by the way, this story and says, by the way, there's no way, okay? First, his argument is, there's no way AI will ever beat a human writer in terms of, what's this? Yani, the way the gifted writer has internalized and evolved beyond the mathematics of syntax. So, yani, if AI is writing for you, it's using mathematical formula to come up with a sentence and so on. So, but the human being who has been speaking this language since azaliwe is not using mathematics. It's just using the mystique of being human. Okay? Mm-hmm. So there's no way AI will ever be human. That's his argument. However, so he starts to argue, there will be some things humans can't do. For example, if you're writing an article, if you're in the media, and one of those things is, for example, you're doing an investigative journalism piece about Joan Rispa. And then you discover that some people have 69 files on Joan Rispa. I don't know what you did. Okay? So they have 69 files. And each of those files has 73 pages. That's 69 times 73. Is a journalist going to spend all that time reading those files? Mm-hmm. So if these files can be put in a machine and they get a summary, then the journalist can use this summary. So this, of course I'm cheapening his argument, but this is what he says, that it will sift for you data.
Yeah, it's assistive technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, I find that, okay, because he's an elder amongst the Meru now, I can trust him, you know.
No, I think as an assistive technology, there is merit to that argument. Yeah. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And even to the bigger question of whether AI can communicate in human emotion.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just say, me as Rispa, there was a time I was sent for a birthday text, and it was very AI, but I did not know. I was just like, wow, this is the best text I've received in my life for a birthday text. It felt very human to me. It felt very real.
Now, that's plastic birthday.
No. Yeah. Ata nyimbo zingine, I realized later, and I'm just like, guys, are you sure these songs are AI songs? Because I'm just like, oh, but it really does something. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't know it was an AI song.
You know, let's talk about, kwa Kiswahili, kwa mfano, unasema kuhusu, when you're quoting, hii ni kama, unasema kwa Kiswahili, ukitongoza. Mchezo wa kutongoza ni mtamu sana kwa maneno when you're exchanging. The man is asking the lady and the lady is playing evasive. That language, it's very nice. That's what you guys in film like to do, isn't it? Show us that we create that romantic thing. Saizi nasikia mayouth hawa, Gen Z ama Gen whatever other, wana text each other, wameuliza AI ati how do I tell my girlfriend good night? Aya, AI namwambia. Alafu ule girlfriend anapata, good night, anasikia vizuri. Alafu anauliza AI, ChatGPT kwanza, how do I tell my man friend? How do I answer this? So kuna text ya AI. Hao watu wawili hawaongeleshani, ni mashini na waongelesha.
But at some point they'll meet and they'll have a conversation.
Yeah, those are the people I see in the restaurants. They're seated there together.
Well, that's an assumption. Even me when we sit in the restaurant, you're usually on your phone more than anybody else.
Yeah, apana.
I swear. Our producer Cosmos is behind and he can affirm this.
No, I'm not on text. I think you're just... You see now, the problem with relying on machine, you even come here and disinform people.
Oh, I will quit anyway, by the way.
Let's go on. I mean, I found this argument very, very interesting. So I'm thinking of filmmakers, people in things like documentary, and they have to dig into many files and look for facts.
Yeah.
I think this sort of attitude of looking through data is nice if AI is helpful. However, sometimes I think AI might miss some things, which things like attitude, things like those human things. What are those human things? So that if you're telling us...
It has no emotional intelligence. So, of course, yeah.
So, for example, if you're telling your story and you want AI to help you, for example, in thinking about a character, do you see? There can be some nuance.
Yeah.
AI might not catch.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
There are two ways to look at it, in the sense that, first of all, unajua, the way I'm thinking about it, AI is just data driven. It's not anything big or mysterious. It's just data and insights. If it's read enough psychology books, or not if it's read, if it has been fed enough psychology and whatever books, then it's able sometimes, probably, to be able to do it, not in a very polished way, okay, maybe what I'm trying to say, in a very polished manner, that makes it look like now this person is not complete the way we would want or them to feel. But of course, even as artists nowadays, sisi, a young budding artist akiandika their plays, we usually start by saying, they're falling short because of the characterization or the story arc is not really that. So to that extent, I guess, both.
But
it's neither here nor
I'm
there,
thinking about something like film. You've just talked about psychology, you know. I'm thinking things like psychology are cultural things. That is, there is a psychology of a man, say, who is a Kenyan, which is totally different from the psychology of a guy in Uganda or in Rwanda or in, which other country do you know? Estonia, you know?
Yeah.
The way men behave there might not be the way men behave in Rwaka. Let me give that example. Rwaka. Rwaka. A Rwakan man might not be the same as an Estonian man. Or should I use where my friend is? Romanian man. Unaona?
Yeah.
I have a friend in Romania.
Yeah.
A Kenyan. Sijui ameenda kufanya nini. Kusoma anyway. So I'm fascinated that is AI capable of digging into cultural attitudes, cultural feelings. Unaona?
There are two ways to look at it, and I'll even bring something that's recently happening. Some famous Hollywood actors have started trademarking their faces so that they don't get AI clones.
Yeah.
So this is happening because they've already realized that a lot of information about themselves is already out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to that extent, if it's already public information and you are a star and you are feeding off this stardom, so there was a lot of data and all that out there already. Then AI came along, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's very possible for, actually one of the AI images that I actually clearly remember was when the Pope was in like a really swanky outfit. I really like that photo. Like
unaona zile vitu unapenda.
You will not shame me. You will not.
Because we like the Pope being the Pope.
You will not
Holy,
shame
up
me.
there kwa balcony
I
tunamwangalia.
loved the curiosity.
Next
Whoever
to
put
God.
that prompt was amazing, A1. But najaribu kusema.
We Catholics, endelea.
Do not lie. Do not lie to the people.
Yeah, I know. But I have friends who are Catholic and I don't like that joke.
I have friends who are white. That's the same kind of argument you're having.
Okay, sasa hii race na religion. Yeah.
Sasa, now you even made me lose my train of thought. But in that sense, I was saying, kwamba it now becomes, if your face has been in the public domain since you were a kid, then there's all this information about you because you were feeding off media and it was what was helping you get that status. I've seen people, I'm forgetting the exact actor, but it might be Brad Pitt, I might be wrong on that, don't quote me, who now put a trademark to his face to limit, yani, mtu mwingine kugenerate anything that comes close to his likeness. In the same breath, a TikToker, anaitwa Kaby Lim, one of the biggest TikTokers with a huge following, na yeye amekubali globally just.
Globally.
Yeah.
Si unajua hii podcast ni ya Kenya. Endelea.
No,
globally, sasa.
No, but he's black.
I'm listening. Sasa Kenya na black. Sawa.
He's of African descent.
Aya, tuendelee na huyo mtu.
Kaby Lim naye, on the other hand, amekubali for a huge, insane, ridiculous amount of money for an AI clone to be generated of him. So, different sides of the same coin.
Okay, sawa. Do
you want a clone? Me, I would want a clone.
Anyway, let's talk about something else, apart from that. I'm just thinking about you who writes films. What do you do with your film? It's copyrighted, isn't it? And anytime that film should be produced, you should get some money as a writer, and so on and so forth. Now enters AI. Umana. So whose copyright will it belong? Okay, wait, God, yeah. Who will own the right to the work, so to speak? So I'll give you this example. You know that picture of Raila Odinga? The one...
His final resting image.
Yeah, there was a sun, and then he has an image, amevaa ile kofia, and so on and so forth. And it was trending all over. Everywhere in fact, they used it most of the time for newspapers, online.
Yeah.
People have t-shirts over it, isn't it? And so on. Do you know it's copyrighted to a guy called Collins Omondi?
Yes.
A photographer. Is he a photographer?
I have no idea.
He's a photographer. Yeah. And so the thing is, it's copyrighted, but people are claiming that it came from, he engineered ChatGPT to make the image be.
Yeah.
But he's a photographer. There's an interesting argument, Apple. So people are saying, kumbe ni AI. So there was an argument of people on the one hand feeling betrayed that it was AI, and some people on the other hand saying, yeah, so what if it's AI? He worked on something, and it's not just AI that produced. He instructed AI. What's the word you guys used?
Prompt engineered.
Prompt engineer, such a lazy word. He prompt engineered AI. Unaona vile mimi ni hater?
Because I think it's...
Sijui kitu inani trouble. Sijui. I wish I had a grandfather mwenye ningemwambia hii story. Afute hii AI.
That's nonsense. Ni kama kusema ile time ya typewriters, secretaries were afraid of computers.
Usilete arguments.
No, nasema.
Ati sijui calculate. By the way, there was an interesting argument about ati 1986 there are pictures of teachers in US or wherever rioting ati calculators zimekuja. They're taking our maths. Come on. That's a lazy argument. We don't want to use it now for AI, because AI is different from the machinery of mathematics.
I think every beginning of like an industrial revolution
unaleta typewriter. Bendelea na hiyo story yako ya typewriter.
Watu walifikiria secretaries hawatawahi kupata kazi. Because typewriters, secretaries used to have a lot. Now everybody, it felt like it had democratized secretarial skills, I guess. Alafu sasa, kumbe, you still need secretaries.
Yeah.
I'll even go to something else. Canva. Wewe unaweza kosa kujua Canva. Canva. Watu wakasema, graphic designers watakosa kazi because Canva is a graphic design app. When unaweza fanya, it's an app.
Yeah.
Anybody can design whatever they want.
Yes.
What instead has happened is graphic designers are still there.
Yeah, but they're not the same.
They are actually.
Hawanuki ile jasho ya graphic design.
I think kitu inasaidia ni inafanya ninio. It makes it easier in the sense that now me who has no language of what I want to communicate to you as a designer, badala ya nishinde nikikwambia, unaweza itengeneza ikue. You see now I'll keep on saying this and I'm using hands, not. So it becomes easier for someone to now come and say, oh, this is the direction that I was looking at and I use this for inspo, so can you now make it better or whatever. They can speak better elements because, creations of the minds are very difficult to explain to someone what you want. Even with the plays that you're writing, if someone came and gave you a concept and they've just used AI to slightly polish, then they come and bring it to you. Utakata hiyo kazi?
Mimi siongeangi na watu. Just write your own play. Please, don't come to me. Unajua, when you're talking, unaona hiyo pain ina form hapa hivi kwa jaws zangu. Because I'm thinking of all my ancestors. Wananiambia, hiyo AI. Anyway, wacha nisi pretend I'm living in this modern world. I have to work with people like you who believe in these things.
Do you use AI?
Do I use AI? I've just told you that when I'm typing and I can't remember the spelling of Caesars.
Yeah.
Caesars. Yeah. How many C's does it have? So when you're typing and you have forgotten a spelling, there's a kawam that nene. So you go back to the cursor.
Yeah.
It gives you Caesars in a proper spelling.
No. I'm talking about now AI kama kina.
No, that's AI, by the way. That's
I don't dispute.
No, okay, because I teach. Okay, I usually take students' work and put it in AI and ask it, is this AI? And AI sometimes cheats me. Yeah, this is AI.
Okay.
Or sometimes it cheats me like it is AI, and then perhaps the student really hasn't used AI. It's just maybe No, I saw that some argument like that, but yeah, it's a tenuous thing. I don't use AI like deliberately for creative purposes. Yeah, I use AI for just basics. Yeah, like if for routine work, for example, if I'm creating a document where I just have to answer yes or no or something like that, I can use AI.
Okay.
But it's not like I'll use it to tell a story because I feel like it will cheat.
What happens if I was to play you a song without specifying whether it's AI or not, and you happened to like it?
You know, I hate that whatever. I mean, it's like telling me what happens if I lie to you. Yeah. I will be lied to. Maybe I'll be
They
happy.
are sweet lies, eh?
I'll be happy, but I don't know.
I just think
it's like
that-
forging a signature to get a job.
No, I
And then
just
10 years later, you discover, hii kitu ilikuwa forged. I got a job on a wrong premise.
Aki walai, me I just think AI has come to democratize art, so it's possible. Actually, huyu msichana wako ni AI hapa ama si AI?
You see, AI. There's actually an artist who drew this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me I think AI has come to democratize not just the arts but everything
But then
around.
anatoka Nakuru, in fact, let me just say. That's
The
not
girl
AI.
on the portrait about
the person who did the portrait. So anyway, by the way, let's just say there are other things within AI which we can talk about. For example, the way you can summarize a document. Like I was trying to tell you, when you actually don't read the whole document and somebody summarizes for you the document, there are some things that might miss in the summary. In fact, by the way, try and summarize that document. You use ChatGPT to summarize it. You use Gemini to summarize it. You might get two summaries.
Yeah.
So in other words, there will be details which are missed out. Umana?
Yeah.
So I'm beginning to think about our reliance on AI might make us stop having that human thing about reading, for example. Unaona? Also, there are so many other things. For example, in your making a film, sometimes you don't just make a film to finish making a film. You make a film because you love storytelling. There's a human thing about storytelling. If you now use AI, what's your job as a person who is a human being? You're dehumanizing storytelling. Ama sina hata point. Unajua unaniangalia tu, acha kamalize. Sawa.
No. I just think that AI is very interesting to observe the space that will grow in the next 2-3 years because it keeps evolving and changing in such a fast way. I'm excited for the possibilities that it brings because for me, it's just possibility and curiosity. If you look at it from a draconian point of view, kama kina Bogo, it felt like a very right word to use. It's a kind of kama you're just resisting the inevitable. So if you're like me, just jump ahead, give us in the comments chenye unafikiria kuhusu
So if you're watching
conversation.
if you're watching this episode 10 years from now, I think this is 2036. Please forgive me. Things may have changed. So I'm not the same guy. Yeah. Hold your peace.
And that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see your comments so that we can know tunaigemea upande gani. But see you on the next episode. Bye.